Hi everyone! Today my longtime friend Natalie from Germany visits me here in Vietnam and I bring her out to try some bánh đa cua Hải Phòng. It's a kind of noodle soup, a specialty of the city of Hải Phòng. Here they offer a few choices of noodle soups from northern Vietnam, but I guess we're gonna have just the bánh đa cua, which is what they're most famous for. The owner is a really young and funny guy, and he guided me through all the ingredients needed to make this noodle soup. Pork wrapped in white betel leaves, pork cakes, fried tilapia, and crab paste. He also blanches some morning glory or rau muống in the boiling broth and add on top. Then pour that really colorful and fragrant broth over. Wow, with so many items in the bowl, I can't wait to dig in. But before that, I just add a little bit of chilies and some chili flakes too. And of course, you can't get away with the fresh greens in Vietnam. Add that into your bowl. Wow, the soup smells so good. Let me have a sip. The noodles are flat, brown, and chewy. It's definitely a very special kind. And with all that amazing toppings, it's just one of the best bowl of Vietnamese noodle soup that you'll ever had. Natalie can't agree with me more on that. You can tell how good it is just by looking at my happy face. Let's see whether we can make this at home. Let's begin.
Helen's recipes.
I've bought these rice crabs in a local market in Vietnam, and they're still alive. It's called cua đồng in Vietnamese. They live in rice fields and eat young rice, so they are nutritious and delicious. It's very important that you buy and prepare these crabs as they are still alive because they can smell bad shortly after they die. Oops, they're trying to escape. If you're living overseas, maybe you can find them frozen at Asian stores. Firstly, you want to toss the crabs with a teaspoon of salt. Toss really well so they can release the mud and the dirt. Then rinse a few times under running water to clean them really well. Wear on gloves, and firstly you want to remove the claws because you really don't want them to attack you with those. Then gently remove the carapace. Use a toothpick to pick out the orange-red part. Believe it or not, this is the part that the Vietnamese treasure the most in eating crabs. Gather all this delicious orange stuff into a small bowl. We will discard the carapace. Next, we're gonna grind the body of the crabs in a mortar and pestle, or pulse in a food processor until it becomes mushy paste. Add 3 cups of water into the crab paste and stir well. You can wear on gloves and squeeze to help the paste dissolve better. Then strain it through a sieve to remove the shell. There you get the best of these few crabs in this liquid. You want to repeat with another 3 cups of water to get all the flesh out of the juice. Discard the sandy shells left in the sieve. Next, parboil the box spare ribs with some salt and vinegar. Boil for 3 minutes so it can release the impurities. Then dump out the whole pot and rinse well to clean the ribs. Transfer it back to the pot, fill with 2 liters of water, and add a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of brown sugar. I also added 2 shallots which I have quickly grilled until charred and rinsed. They will add more fragrance to the broth. Now add half a teaspoon of salt into the juice of the crabs and cook on high and stir well constantly. When it's about to boil, lower the heat and stop stirring. Add a teaspoon of fermented shrimp paste or mắm tôm to kick off that flavor. Keep the heat to very low and stop stirring. The protein will form and gradually float to the surface. Then you can use a slaughter spoon to scoop out this protein part. This is what we call real cua and is super precious. I pour it into a sieve to get all the protein. And of course, we're gonna use that flavorful broth underneath. You can put the real cua into the fridge now so it can form into other solid. Now combine the crab broth with the pork broth into a larger pot. Cut 2 tomatoes into wedges. Heat 3 tablespoons of vegetable in a pan and fry 3 sliced shallots until golden and crispy. Then gather the crispy fried shallots into a small bowl to use as garnish later. Into the hot oil left in the pan, we're gonna add in the orange stuff, or what we call gạch cua, and saute for about a minute to bring out that amazing color and fragrance. You can add some annatto or paprika powder to boost that beautiful color. Wow, look at that! It looks amazing and smells even better. Now add the tomatoes and a teaspoon of chicken stock and a tablespoon of fish sauce and saute for about 2 to 3 minutes until the tomatoes are cooked but still in the shape. Transfer all this into the soup pot to add color and flavor. I have also soaked 2 tablespoons of dry shrimps in warm water for about 10 minutes and now add to the soup pot to intensify the flavor. I also mixed 2 tablespoons of mắm tôm or fermented shrimp sauce with 2/3 cups of water. Stir until dissolved and leave for about 10 minutes to settle the dregs at the bottom. Then we extract the clear juice on top and pour into the soup pot. You can also add some tamarind liquid to give the broth some tangy taste. Have a taste and adjust the seasonings with more salt and chicken stock if needed. Then add the fried tofu pops, so make it even more amazing. One important item that cannot be missed in the bowl of bánh đa cua is chả lá lốt, which is pork rolls wrapped in betel leaves. To make that, you want to soak about 10 grams of dried woody mushrooms for about 10 minutes until they bloom big like this. Then cut into strips and combine with about 200 grams of minced pork, a tablespoon of minced shallot, a teaspoon of chicken stock powder, and half a teaspoon of pepper. Mix really well and set aside for about 15 minutes. Rinse the betel leaves or lá lốt well, then pat really dry with paper towel. To roll, you place the leaf on a flat surface with the dark side facing down. Place about a teaspoon of the filling nearer to the tip of the leaf and then roll it up. When you're about to reach the stem, use a toothpick to pierce a small hole in the middle of the roll, and then you're gonna tuck the stem into this hole. Then just pan fry the rolls until they are cooked through, about 5 minutes each. When you place the roll into the hot oil, try to put the seal side down first so that they will not unroll too easily, and after a while you can easily rotate them. For the noodles, you will need bánh đa noodles, which is a flat rice noodles in brownish color. Soak in water for a couple of minutes to soften. Then into the noodle strainer, you're gonna add some morning glory or water spinach, rau muống, some water celeries or rau cẳng nước or rau nhút if you have, and a handful of the softened brown rice noodles. Blanch in a pot of boiling hot water for just about 30 seconds or so, and then transfer to a serving bowl. Top with a piece of box bread, 2 pieces of that amazingly fragrant beetle rolls, and some fish cake if you have, some fried tofu pops. Oops, I almost forgot the most important thing in the fridge, the real cua. Let's take it out. Scoop a good tablespoon and place on top of the noodles. Ladle that amazingly fragrant, colorful, and delicious broth over. Sprinkle some chopped green onions on top and garnish with a little bit more of that fried shallots. To serve, you squeeze in some lime juice, and oh my god, what an incredible noodle bowl. You wouldn't believe how good it would taste like. Let's give it a try. Oh my. Have a bite of the beetle rolls. It's so soft, fragrant, and juicy. The noodle is still slightly chewy, and that real cua is really melts in your mouth. I'm sure you're gonna fall crazily in love with this recipe if you give it a try. And please send me a photo on Instagram with #HelenRecipes so I can also enjoy your bowl noodle from here. Thank you for watching. Bye!